So how does it feel to be in this movie and an awesome female superhero?
It feels pretty darn cool. This is a highlight of my career for sure. And
Would you say that? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I would. And you know, not just because I get to be a superhero, but because I get to be the first titled female superhero in the MCU, and that's a big deal to me.
That's a
and
huge deal.
It feels really important, especially in this climate, in this moment with our culture and with women so clearly saying we're still not being treated equally, and time's up. We've got to be treated equally to now have equal billing with a man in this universe that's predominantly male is means a lot to me.
Yeah, and you definitely hold your own.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Was it? You said you have dreamt all of your life, you know, as a kid. You've always thought it would be cool to have wings because you liked fairies and pixies.
I loved fairies and pixies, but now I get to kind of be like a kick-ass fairy pixie,
For
which
sure.
is way
Like,
cooler
it's way
than an
beyond
ordinary.
what you dreamed of, right?
Yeah, I knew somebody who works for Marvel, and they always ask their kid to come, and they have a daughter, and she's always like, no, it's not my thing, it's not my thing, it's not my thing. And this one, they said, well, you know, it's a woman. And she was like, and he's like, she has wings. And she was like, what? She has wings? I want to go see. You know, that, like, for me, just bringing girls into this space and giving them something really cool. I don't know. I'm just very happy, very excited.
Did you call up Scarlett Johansson? Have you guys compared notes about being these, you know, kick-butt female?
You know, when I was
superheroes?
working on Avengers, I got to know Brie Larson pretty well, and or you know, a little bit, as much as you can on a film, and her and I talked about it, and of course she's going to be the next titled female superhero. She's going to be Captain Marvel, and then I'm sure that, you know, this will be the beginning of many, many more titled Marvel films.
Yeah,
Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. I mean, I don't know who's next or who's gonna get it, but like, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Did you compare in the very beginning of it with Scarlett any notes about being the tough female?
I've never had a chance to talk to Scarlett.
Oh, you guys need to, yeah.
I know, it'd be great.
Yeah, you're paving the way for us tough females. Are you getting some cool mom points for being the Wasp?
Yeah. I mean, especially my son is 7, and he's at that place of like, mom's not cool. So he doesn't like the fact that I've got this cool card, because then he admittedly does think it's cool, but he tries not to admit it. But his friends, you know, at school, it's definitely a kind of a big thing. You know, I go to school and
think
the Wasp is at school. It's great.
Did they kind of look at you like side eye, like kind of like, ooh?
Some of them are really brazen. Like, one of them, I went there for career day, and I talked to the kids about my writing career predominantly. Like, I mostly just read them my stories, but I gave them a Q&A time so that they could ask any questions they wanted. And one of them put his hand up and said, "How much money do you have?"
Oh, God.
I full on went into mummy mode. I was like, that's a rude question, and you should never ask anybody about money. It's private.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I understand you did catch your son though, pretending to be the Wasp.
Yeah, he came to visit me on set, and we were on the beautiful Hank and Hope lab set, which is just completely immersive, and there's buttons and gadgets, and he was playing with everything, and he was in his own world and his imagination, and all of a sudden he turned to me and his father and said, "Look at me, I'm the Wasp." And I mean, that just, as a mom, for your son to be pretending to be you is really cool. But then, as a woman, to see a little boy pretending to be a female superhero meant the world to me. I mean, I remember distinctly pretending to be male superheroes when I was young, and that shift is incredible. My son has always, though, kind of had this mom that I don't remember why, but at one point my partner and I asked him, if a robber came into the house, who do you think would like save you or like protect you? Would it be mommy or daddy? And he was like, mommy. You know, because he's like seen me slaying orcs.
Yeah.
And he's just always seen me, like, he really believes I can slay. He really believes I know Muay Thai. He really believes. I try to tell him, like, no, honey, it's all pretend. But he's seen the footage.
Yeah.
You know, he's seen it happen.
Has he seen this film?
Not yet.
Well, he's really going to thank you.
I know. But he's seen the trailer, and he's already just like, oh, my mom can really kick some ass.
I understand the suit was not so comfortable at some points.
I loved my suit.
You did? Yeah,
You know why you think my suit was so uncomfortable is because all the men in the Marvel world complain about their suits all the time. But
well, they're just wimps, you know.
Well, I'm used to being uncomfortable to look good. We walk around in high heels and stuff. I mean, we're just like, why did I put my
So unfair.
makeup foot in the shot?
It's so unfair, I know, compared to makeup feet.
But, women are, I think, generally used to being uncomfortable. So we don't notice it as much.
Yeah.
But they're not used to being uncomfortable. So.
But you were very instrumental in shaping the Wasp suit, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't right from the beginning.
No, but none of them are. I mean, you can't get a suit to be form-fitting and hug a person's body without having had them in a room for hours on end and making it perfect. But I really think I spent a ridiculous amount of time making sure that suit was right. I would call up the wardrobe department and say, I know production scheduled us for 2 hours, but we need all day, right? And they were like, oh, we'd love all day. And I'm like, I'm here for you. If we need 5 days, you just tell me. We're going to get this suit perfect.
What were some of the problems like with it to begin with?
I
understand it gave flat.
Yeah, one of the worst things was it gave me a really flat butt, and I don't have a flat butt. And I was like, guys, we got to represent. If I had a flat butt, fine, but I don't. So you need to make me look my best. And I mean, it's sort of almost embarrassing to talk about what, but like you need to get the breast shape perfect because it shouldn't be. I didn't want it to be garish. I didn't want it to be like the comic books. It was really focused on TNA. It was very focused on the curves and being buxom. I'm not.
They're all
buxom.
Barbies in the comic books. Yeah,
I'm not. Hello, like I'm just not. I have small breasts and narrow hips, and like I'm more athletic. So I wanted it to be sexy and beautiful, but I wanted it to be realistic and modern as well. And like that balance was tricky to find.
Yeah, that is tricky, but good for you for doing that.
Thank you.
Can we just talk about the huge legends in this movie? Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Lawrence Fishburne. Did you ever look around? Paul said, I just became like kind of starstruck sometimes, and I know people could say that, but it was like, literally I would think like in between scenes, what questions can I ask them? Because I have like things I want to ask.
I can confirm that he's not pretending.
He
would literally like between a take, you could see him like a kid, like, and then he'd come up and like, Lawrence. And he would like dig for great Hollywood stories, and Lawrence has epic stories. Michael has epic stories. Like those men lived hard and fast in the 80s, and they've got amazing stories to tell. And Michelle is so cool and so funny and so generous and kind. Like I didn't ask any of them for any questions because I was too afraid of prying. I was like, they're so. It was truly a dream to work with them, but I felt like a spectator. Like I just was always just watching them. Like, wow,
I know.
these guys are amazing.
Too. I know.
I did dig in with Lawrence a little bit on his life, and he's just such a connected person. He's really approachable and warm, and he really puts people at ease.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I could talk to him about his life story, and he's got such a fascinating life.
Yeah, they all do. Like just incredible stuff. The duo, because you and Paul have such great chemistry in this movie, and the duo between the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Do you think it's going to go down as one of the great duos of all time, like a Batman and Robin?
I have no idea. I mean, really, like to know if something's gonna when we started filming Lost, we didn't know it would become the thing it became. I don't have a crystal ball, but I personally think it's the best part of the movie. I love the chemistry. I love the friction. It's very Moonlighty-y. Like, the show Moonlighting, where they love each other because they hate each other, and because they're so different. So there's a real yin and yang factor to Scott and Hope. And, the first film, she thought he was unnecessary, useless, and obnoxious. And then eventually, he found a way into her heart, and he thought she was cold, aloof, and a bitch, and then she found a way into his heart. But at the beginning of this film, they've already dated.
Yeah.
They've had a romance. They've been through that journey, and now they're estranged.
Yeah.
So they have history, and they have some baggage to get through, and it's really fun watching them work through that baggage.
I know, it really is.
Yeah.
It's like a romantic comedy. I love it.
Yeah.
I know. Lost, would you ever do a reboot since you brought that up? They're doing it all. It's all the rage these days.
I hate reboots.
You do?
I'm just like, can you please leave Star Wars alone? Rogue One was amazing, but other than that, I just like leave it alone. It's like
Really?
legendary and perfect. I don't want an Indiana Jones reboot. I don't want like all these things are so precious and sacred, and like I just feel like reboots end up somehow watering down what
the original
was so beautiful in the first place. So if they wanted to do a lost reboot, I just feel like I would be risking hurting the original thing that we did, and I feel like we did it well and it was beautiful and we should just let it be.
So I'll take that as a no.
I never say never. I mean, I just like life is too complicated, so yeah.
That's true. But I hear what you're saying, too.
Yeah.
You were so great in the movie. Thanks for being so awesome in the movie. It was
Thank
just like I
you.
said. I mean,
Thank you so much.